I'm sorry, I'm just starting the recording. We've checked into the room. Salvador is talking. It's about the flights to Chania. This is for those who aren't here. Okay, go for it. I booked my flight from Chania back to Athens already. It was pretty easy. But yeah.
Only two companies do it. Only two companies. Only Aegean and Sky Express. Aegean is of Greece. Sky Express is of Crete. You will see when you are in Crete, they completely, definitely prefer Cretan products. They have everything, even an airline company. So the Sky Express is the local company. Only those two fly. They have very good prices. If you want help, I want to tell you that for all of you. If you want help with flights or with transfers from airports to airports, those that are not included, I can help you. The reason we didn't put them is because it was very, very complicated. Because every one of you comes with a different flight. You come different dates. You leave different dates. We wanted to keep flexibility, so it was impossible to have flights for everybody. But if someone or anyone or many of you, whoever, wants individually to contact me and help with those things, of course you can, you know that.
Okay. Anybody else with a hand up? If not, we're going to start addressing these questions in the chat. Anybody else with a hand up that wants to?
I could ask a question.
Go for
So
it.
the same goes for the flights for Santorini.
Yes.
So
From Santorini to Athens, you mean, right?
yes, exactly.
Yes, yes. Of course, I can suggest flights, you know, anything.
Okay, thank you.
So
Write me a letter, okay?
Salvador, sounds like, well, so what's the best way? Should they just communicate with you? Do you want to have a meeting just with those people who are going to Santorini at some point, a Zoom meeting? What is the best way for you to give them this advice?
I think the best is personal email correspondence because everyone finally is different than everyone else. If you want a group meeting, of course, we can do it.
Okay. All right. But if you want to, but you'll handle the emails back and forth.
Yes, sure.
Okay. All right. Any others that want to speak a question before we get to them in the chat? Okay. So, okay. Lisa Ann asked question about traveling with a CPAP. Can we get distilled water there? Anybody, how many traveling with a CPAP? 1, 2, 3, 4. So Salvador, have you had this on 4 or 5? Have you had this question on other trips? And do you know what we're talking about?
No, I don't know. What is this?
Who wants to explain?
A CPAP machine is a thing that one uses if you have sleep apnea. It's a medical device and you have to use distilled water and put water in it every night. You have to plug it in and it's like a mask that you put over your face and it helps you breathe when you're sleeping. And we have to purchase what's called distilled water. It's a kind of purified water, but it's special medical water. You usually buy it in a pharmacy in order to put it in the machine and not have it corrode the insides of the machine.
I'm sure we have it in pharmacies here. Is it the how we call it, the tears or natural?
No, you usually buy a gallon of it at a time.
Yes.
It's not a little thing. It's a big amount. And
I'm sure we have it, you know, in the pharmacies. I'm not familiar with those machines.
For those of you who've been on the past trips where we've had this issue with the CPAP, how did we solve it?
I was in Israel, we couldn't get distilled water, so we used purified water, which was okay. It corroded the thing, but you know, it's
doable. Not good.
It's not great. It's not ideal. In Morocco, they got us distilled water from an automotive place of all things. You know, like they put it in batteries too. So you know, so it was doable in Morocco. It should be doable in Greece.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's something that you can do some research for us ahead of time. and find
Yeah.
out.
Of course, very.
Because, yeah, it would be really good if you could get find out about where it can be purchased. And maybe arrange for us to get a few gallons of it. I think among us for the whole period of time that we're there, I mean, we won't go through we won't need a gallon each. We'll probably need a couple of gallons among us.
All right,
Well,
raise
the
your
problem is we can't carry them on planes, so we'll need it in several places. That's the problem.
all right,
No
raise
Oh,
problem.
right. We can't carry the gallons of water on planes unless you put it into a suitcase.
Okay, can't
A
raise
check
your hand. How
suitcase.
many of you again? Let's count how many. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So at least 4. Okay, so Salvador, let's assume 6 because there's some people that aren't here. I'm sending you on a mission to find this.
Okay, the only question I have is the phrase distilled water enough, or I need to specify a little more?
No, it's called distilled water, but it's not, it's specifically distilled. It's not like purified water.
I take
it's
everything
not-
in.
It's not,
it-
it's not
Can you-
sterile. Just sterile water doesn't work. It has to be distilled.
Okay. Tell me again the name of the machine.
CPAP, CPAP.
Becky, are you waving your hand?
CPAT. T, the last one is T for
No,
Tom.
CPAP.
P.
If you look in the chat,
I'll put it in the chat, okay.
In the chat.
Okay, hello, can I interject?
Becky.
Yes. So I was just looking online. There literally is a pharmacy that they name in Athens, 1 or 2 pharmacies that you should be able to get it at. And I think it was under TripAdvisor. And they also mentioned that they call it water for injection, that's what it's printed
No.
on the label of the bottle.
No,
Water
no,
for injection.
that would be sterile and that would be pyrogen free. We don't need that.
They
That's
said
not-
this is what's printed on the label of one. It's twice distilled. Technically, when I asked first for distilled water, they said they didn't have it.
Okay.
So it's twice distilled. What they call it water for injection, and there are numerous places where they mention they got the distilled water for CPAP.
I love a good researcher. Thank you, Becky.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard. Glad to have
I
you.
will ask. I will ask, and probably it will be something common that one can find in every pharmacy. I think we will have no problem with this, but I will ask to be certain.
Thank you.
Yeah, they
I know-
said it wasn't. They said that it was only at very few specific pharmacies, but they do have it in Athens.
I know
Oh.
in
It's not
Britain
common.
they sell it in the petrol stations, in the gas stations, like they did in Morocco. So
Okay, I'm going to move
Yeah, that's
on.
really the distilled stuff, but we shouldn't be taking up all this time with.
That's right. I'm going to
Yeah,
move
yeah.
us on because Salvador is perfectly capable of figuring this out. Okay, so Evelyn's next here and ask about the flight from Crete to Athens. I think we said that any flight information you should email Salvador and he'll help you. Linda Landis asks a question. She needs a recommendation for a hotel in Athens near the airport, which has a shuttle to the airport at 6 a.m. How many of you need that?
We have that already.
We have that already. Okay. Do you want to put it in the chat or you'll let her know? Linda, you should just email Salvador on it and he
Yes.
can do that. Okay.
Maybe we already have 5 people that will want this service at the 18th, you mean, or earlier, whenever you want, actually. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we have that, Linda. Just be in touch with Salvador. Okay. Celeste, I'm going to skip your question because it's a money question at the moment. What amount of euros when we get to Greece? You all can, I'll just say this, 1,000 euros minimum, right, Salvador? But if you want to pay more in cash, you can. But the details of that should be settled with him on an email.
My question was about money to you, because we will still owe you money for the trip.
Yes,
It's not about spending money.
right. That's what we're talking about. But let's save all the money questions. Not everybody needs them. Okay, so when are people coming to the trip Somebody's got something on in their background. Gonna have to mute you all. Somebody got a TV on?
Razel, just mute everybody.
Muting everybody. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. When are people coming to the pre and post trip? So Salvador, why don't you give us an update on who's coming pre-trip, who's coming to main trip, who's leaving on what day, so we have a general idea of who's doing what. I'll unmute you, Salvador. Gotta unmute.
Okay, sorry. You hear me now?
Yeah.
So I say names.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sure. So we can know who we're traveling with.
Okay, okay. Pre-trip. Celeste Robbins, Patricia Sadier, Linda Fredericks, I don't have an answer yet. Few people have not given me dates yet, okay? Betsy Tighe, she's coming in the pre-trip. Susan Raskin Abrams, she's coming in the pre-trip. Again, pre-trip. Susan Orlin, Barbara Segura, Nina Segura, Sharon Friedman, Debbie Kugelman, Wendy Engel. Sorry, Wendy Engel, no. Susan Walksmith, no. Becky Smukler and Evelyn Goldberg, they're coming. Lisa Green, Peter Wharton, they're coming. Hallie Morrow and Highland Morrow are coming. Then from Judy Hollander and Paula Friedman, I don't have an answer. From Renee
Should I
Shapiro.
give you now? Should I give you now, or when do you want it? I mean, we do.
No, write it to me, please. If you know it, write it to me so I have it written.
Yeah, we're coming early.
You're coming, okay, okay, nice. Then Susan Shane, no, she's coming for the main trip. From Mindy Shapiro, I don't have an answer. Linda Landes and Alice Engelman, they're coming for the pre-trip. Mary Lozic is coming for the main trip only, not the pre-trip. And from Sharon Alexander, I don't have an answer. This is the pre-trip now. You want?
Wait. So how many is that for the pre-trip? Because
How many?
How many? Yeah, because Renee asked a question about the cost, because the cost changes based on the pre-trip. About the number.
17.
17. We need one more? Is that what we need? To lower the cost for the whole group?
No, it doesn't matter, but we have the local.
Mimi and I expressed interest, and I don't know that, was that not taken down as being, yes, we were going to do that, or, because we did say something in the past.
Okay, so
Yeah, but now I'm asking for exact dates, the day that you arrive, the day that you will join the group.
Okay,
Let me see.
we haven't planned flights yet, but so the 4-day pre-trip was what we were saying we were interested in.
Okay, so
right?
you can still come.
Okay, we should write it now, or write it now, or write you an email with everything.
And he will be in touch on email. Okay.
Yes, because I will need the date that you arrive and the time. I need exact, let's say, information. Write to me if you want. And if something is missing, I'll answer to you.
Okay, and how about the day trip to Mount Olympus?
Most of you, I would say maybe all of you.
Okay, good. And the rest of yours, Renee was also.
You want details or just most of you is enough? Most of you are coming.
Okay. All right. So Renee, the rest of yours is going to be dependent on. Okay. Tell us about the post trip.
Post trip. I tell you the extra days. The extra days.
The extra days in Chania and Santorini. Those are two different things.
Okay. And 8. First of all, I don't have answer from 8 people. We are 29, all of us. I don't have answer from 8. So this may change things a little bit, okay? But given that, for the extra days, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Can you say
14 people.
Can you say the date that the post trip begins? Because I know when I'm leaving, and I just sent you my plane reservation, so I'm leaving.
Okay, morning of
Judy, I'm
13,
we'll get, he's in the middle of something.
Thursday, March 13, start the extra days, which we call Purim in Chania, and the extra days in Chania, in Crete. 3 days they are, from the 13th to the 16th in the morning. 16th in the morning, we leave for Santorini. Some people just return home, they stop the trip there, and whoever wants goes to Santorini. How many people are for Santorini? At the moment, 8.
And Chania, we're working at doing. We're going to have a 2-day Purim because Purim is the Thursday night. We're going to have an event at the synagogue, and Friday night is Kabbalat Shabbat. So we've been working on that as well. It's gonna be fun. All right. So those of you who you need to let him know the dates, and Salvador will figure out the price for you, and then you'll be able to buy the travel insurance. Okay, Betsy asks, we'll be okay without any Greek language. Most people do speak English. I was just there. Every shop that we're going into, every place we are, there will be English. So you're okay on that. Hallie asks, would there be a problem with leaving the group on the final evening to catch a very early flight on the 13th? There's no problem on our end. Just be in touch with Salvador if you need help with flights or recommendations. What's the best way to get a SIM card for our phone that will cover everything? You're thinking you're going to need it for Google Maps. So this is there are two, it depends on what kind of phone you have. This is between you and your phone carrier company. Like I have an eSIM in my iPhone, so I don't need to get one. And I just pay whatever I have to buy a plan from AT&T for $10 a day, and then my phone works there. If you have a different phone plan, you have to figure that out. And I would suggest doing some research, either TripAdvisor or travel sites, or there are Facebook groups for solo travelers. You can get on there and ask those kind of questions. Celeste, will you be able to have a single room? Yes, just be in touch with Salvador and let him know. Gail, I'll be landing at the Athens airport the day before the tour starts with a bag or two. Take a taxi. How do I find a taxi? How do I know it's legit? In English, is English spoken? So Salvador, you want to address that?
Yes. Very easy. You go out of the airport and, there are the buses, there are the taxis first. Actually, you see the taxis first. And then the buses, they have their own lane. You cannot miss them. There are no illegal taxis. It's a big thing. I mean, we don't even have how you call this? Not the Waze, the other, this app.
Uber?
Uber, exactly. We don't even have Uber. I mean, Uber works with taxis. So any taxi that will say taxi and will be, yellow, will be okay. The problem is not if the taxi will have a license. This is 100% certain, but still the driver may be not the most, I don't know, decent person. That's another story. For that reason, the ministry has set a fixed amount. From the airport to any hotel in Athens, you pay 40 euro, maybe 42 now, maybe around 40. I have lost it now the last 6 months. I have no information. But it will be maximum 45 euro, fixed price. You don't go by the meter. That means that he will not go around circles with you just for the meter to write more. So you have no problem. Taxis are okay from the airport.
Yes. If we had time, I would tell you a story about the taxis. But basically, just get in the taxi. If it's a difference of €5 or €10, chalk it up to, being a tourist, and let them take you exactly where you want to go. Don't try to argue with them too much. Don't show them your GPS that you think you know a better way, because this is what my husband did when we got off the boat in Athens, and we were headed to the airport with a Greek taxi guy who did not speak any English, but he was airport, no problem. Except we got into traffic, and my husband thought he was being smart and showed him the GPS that showed a different way. So the taxi guy followed it, and it turned out Simcha had put in the wrong airport. So then I spent an hour and a half in morning rush hour traffic in Athens. So whatever you do, don't do that. I barely made the plane. I did make the plane, or I wouldn't be here. But just get in the taxi, pay it, hold your nose if they charge you a little more, and just get to the hotel, and the rest of it will be taken care of. It's really pretty simple. Okay, so, and Gail, what we'll do when we know everybody's flights is we will coordinate people who might be coming in at the same time, and you'll all be on that WhatsApp thing, so that, WhatsApp app, so that you can be in touch with each other. That's one of the things I try to do, is, make sure people are connected before and after and can travel together if we need to. Okay, Susan Shine says, if several of us plan on staying in Chania and fly back to Athens, would it make sense for us to fly back at the same time? Absolutely. And I put my flight back into the chat. Mimi and Renee are going on the pre and the post. And yes, I am leaving after from Chania, because I just took a cruise and I was just in Santorini. So I just felt like I didn't need to do that again, because I'm going to be in Athens earlier, and we stayed these extra 2 days, and I think I'm going to have to get back. Is there a bathroom on the bus? No, but we will stop. We know how to stop and plan for this. Is there a closing ritual or dinner or something after the initial trip is over? The Wednesday night, we're gonna have four closing dinners and rituals. I think that's what we're end up doing, because there's one the night before the main trip leaves. Then the next night is, let me pull out my calendar. Why don't you speak to that, Salvador?
Yes, sorry. Yes, as you said, exactly. We have basically we have a lot of dinners. They have all the sense of a party, something. The difference that I have done is to try to have, or if we want to have, because it's not always good, to have live music. So the goodbye dinner is basically a dinner like the other dinners, but we have live music. Sometimes your rabbi tells me, no, we want to, share photographs or talk or do something. So then we don't have music. Otherwise, yes, we have dinners all the time. What is the difference? The only is that we put live music.
Okay, let's see. Betsy asks, no shuttle from our Athens hotel. Betsy, could you be a little bit more clear? Going to, going from, where are you?
Oh, just go when we arrive. If we're arriving early, sometimes those big hotels have shuttles. I assume not, since you're suggesting taxi, but does the hotel have a shuttle bus to the airport?
The one we're staying at, Salvador.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Okay, Evelyn and Becky, is that per person or per vehicle? Oh, for Salvador, that's a taxi question.
Sorry, what was it again? How much per vehicle? The €40 per vehicle.
Per vehicle, okay.
Until 3 people they will take. Sometimes it's possible, they don't do it all the time, but if you have luggage, to charge a little bit, something like €2 for all the luggage. 40 to 45 euros, say it's a fixed price, you don't go by the meter, and it's okay, it's a good price.
Okay, Judy, you're coming a day earlier. Yes, you can get a room at the hotel as soon as you give Salvador your dates. He will give you that. What's the
Okay.
name of the airport?
Abandoned.
Salvador, what's the name of the airport?
It's a little difficult. It's called Eleftherios Venizelos. It is a Greek politician of the 20s. You can just say Athens International Airport. There's one only.
That'll work. Will there be a problem getting a taxi at 1 or 2 a.m.? Asks Howard.
No,
No.
no. They have a line of taxis waiting 24 hours a day all the time.
Gail, you couldn't find the group. Okay, find me and I'll put you in the group. Just to confirm, no Wi-Fi on the bus. Is there Wi-Fi on the bus, Salvador?
I don't know. Sometimes there is. Not always. You cannot depend on that.
Okay, look for a bus with Wi-Fi. If you can.
Okay. Yes. I can ask for that and we can probably have it. Not certain, but you know.
Okay.
I can try.
Any other questions? Susan, I don't know how to, if you have to pee 3 times an hour, how long is the longest bus ride that we're going where you don't have a bathroom stop?
What? Every 1.5, 2 hours we stop.
Everyone.
The longest we have, maybe from Meteora to Salonika, maybe 4 hours. We don't have very long travels.
Okay.
And this, if it happens twice, once from Delphi to Meteora, 3 hours, and once from Meteora to Salonika, 4 hours. We don't have a very big trips.
And
we stop in the middle.
Will we be able to charge phones on the bus? You know, phone chargers on the bus.
I don't know. But
it's a good bus.
Not always. Some buses may have USB plugs, but you cannot depend on that. But charge it in the morning. Why in the bus?
It's true. So here's one of the things I recommend is, first of all, you always put your phone on low battery mode at the beginning of the day. And second of all, bring a battery pack that is charged. One of those small things, bring a battery pack, charge that up, and so you don't run out of juice. Tipping taxi drivers, how much do we provide for, do they take tips on taxi? You can give them a couple euros. It's not a lot, right?
Yes, we do tip, but it's not like you tip. You tip much more than we do. Tip, imagine it like tip used to be. Tip used to be something like, I appreciate a good service and I give you something extra because I'm happy. I don't have to, I want to, you understand?
Okay. Any other questions? Mimi?
This is a weird question, but you'll appreciate. For Purim, are we going to be stuck behind a dirty curtain with a fuse box?
Say it. I can't hear you. Say it again.
Are we going to be stuck behind a dirty curtain with a fuse box like we were in Morocco?
Oh,
I'm serious.
At the synagogue. Do they have a mechitza? She's asking. You know, where the men and women stay separate, Salvador.
No, but we were completely blocked off from everything.
Yeah.
We couldn't even see anything. Was there a balcony? I'm serious.
Listen, in Greece, I have to tell you this. I know that it has become an activism in the United States, but you have numbers in the United States. Here we have one way to be Jewish. There is no second. Women and men are always separated. There is no other way. It's not a matter of social discrimination. It's just
no. Is there a balcony?
Small Jewish communities.
Will we be able to see the service? Because we were balconies, and also we were behind a curtain where we saw literally nothing.
That was Shabbos, not Purim.
Wait a minute. We're
Still,
talking about
Purim.
You're talking about Chania and in Thessaloniki.
It's different in Athens and in Thessaloniki, and it's different in Chania. The difference is that there is no official community in Chania and with no official rabbi. That means that they do things a little more simplified. Women and men are together. Basically, it is a rite that is reform, so you're much more familiar. And this is because they are not Greek. There is no official Jewish community of Chania with Greek Jews because there are no Greek Jews in Chania. At the moment, I may be the only one.
Oh, okay.
We're going to be the Greek Jews there, but they're foreigners. You said they're foreigners. There's
yes.
part of the
There is such a thing as a local community. They call themselves Jewish community of Chania, but that doesn't mean that they have presented themselves at the authorities and, there is such a thing officially recognized. No, that's why they don't have a rabbi. That's why they're not so strict, because if there was an official rabbi, we would have to be Orthodox halachically, officially. We're not religious in Greece. However, the halacha is the Orthodox, and we would have to separate the women. You understand? But this doesn't happen in Chania for that simple reason, because there is Anglo-Saxonic people, Americans, English, Australian. You would meet them, very open people, very sympathetic. They live in Chania permanently, and they have created a community that is more relaxed a little bit than the other communities of Greece.
So here's the thing. I have Kohenets here, I have rabbis. On the days that we are not going to visit a synagogue, we will create our own rituals, Shabbat worship, however we want to do it. So be thinking about that, and bring your songs, and bring your enthusiasm, and bring your prayers. And so that would be in Athens, I believe, on that Shabbos morning. And Thessaloniki, we only have an afternoon program. And in Chania, we're just going to go be part of the community, but on that Shabbos morning, we can do our own thing as well. So we have opportunities to do both.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Do taxis take credit cards? I believe that answer is yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Lisa?
Yes, Eva.
Yeah, Kiva, welcome.
Hey, I want to say hi to you, Rachel. It's good to see your face. Nice to see you, Salvatore. I just wanted to tell you that if you ever have any live musicians playing, you can tell them that you have a pretty good drummer. I'm a hand drummer, play all over the world, and happy to help any of your live musicians.
Excellent. We will make
that. Will be fantastic, of course.
Yeah, so we're going to
I'm
bring.
also a drummer
stuff.
for congregations as well.
Yeah,
So
we have a couple of drummers, so we can make our own party, Salvatore.
Yes.
Judy, you have your hand up.
I just have a question for the people that just spoke. Akiba, you're in Long Island?
Yes.
Friends with Larry Kay?
Yes.
Okay, I'm coming.
Good to see you.
Great.
Okay, can we talk about luggage and weights for flights again? Salvador, that's you.
We have in the flight, one flight that I am reserving for you is the Thessaloniki to Heraklion, Crete. Okay, you have it in mind more or less. We fly from Salonika, from the north of Greece, directly to the southmost part of Greece, Crete, through Athens. Thessaloniki, Athens, Heraklion, the capital of Crete. In this flight, both of those flights, we have a 23 kilos suitcase to go under the plane and an 8 kilos hand bag to take with us on the plane, plus a personal item, a purse for the women, a laptop, personal item.
So what is it, 23 kilo, and then
23 plus 8.
And then what was the other one?
8 kilos hand luggage, something on the hand.
Okay, and then a personal item.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right.
So that's 50 pounds. That's about as heavy as any for the underneath the plane. Right. It should be plenty.
That's about what you're going to get on the international flights as well. Right? So, in other words, you can do it. Just here's my advice on packing. Bring some of your clothes that you absolutely need, and bring some clothes that you want to just vest on along the way. And so that you can fill your suitcase up with other things, but maybe wait till we get to Crete to do a lot of shopping if you're going to, but that way your luggage will be lighter. Can we bring some extra drums? Extra drums? Is that what you said? Extra drums. Celeste, what do you mean? How many extra?
I love to drum, and I have been around Akiva before at Kala. But I'm not going to bring a drum with me. So I just wondered if we could have a tow for two for those of us who like to drum but won't have our drums with us.
Can you pick up little drums?
Actually, I have something I can say about that. I bring a wooden drum. It's one of those flat ones, the cajones that they're about that big, and it fits in my backpack. And that's what I bring on my trips.
Could you please put that in the chat? I don't always understand every word, so that would help a bunch. I'm hard of hearing.
No, Miriam the prophetess took her toph. She took her timbrel because she never knew when they were gonna. They would cross. So those of you who want to bring your drums for this journey to I don't know if it's the promised land, but this journey somewhere, then bring a drum, bring a shaker, bring us something, and we'll find some time to make music.
We will. So in answer to that, we will try to pack some extra tambourines, which we should be able to fit in our luggage if we can. And Akiva will be able to teach people to drum on tambourines as if they're drums. Okay, so they'll be easy to carry, and we'll fit them in. We'll find a way to fit some extra tambourines. We won't be able to bring enough for everybody, but we'll be able to share them.
Thank you.
And I just put the name of the company that makes the small cajones in the Can-Do drums. That's the name of the company that makes that wooden drum that's got snares on it and everything.
Yeah.
So that travels and it's bomb-proof. I just stick it in my backpack.
Well, if you can put that into the WhatsApp chat, if anybody wants to purchase one before coming, they can. But we'll also bring some extra tambourines.
Okay.
I have to tell you something. We will be a little busy. We will be a little busy touring. We will do something more or less all the time.
Salvador, let's look at that. And we're going to find some space for some drumming. Okay.
There's always time on the bus.
There's always
okay. Okay, I'm with you. I just say that we have a schedule. We will do things all the time.
Stay flexible, Salvador. Stay flexible.
I am.
Okay. All right. Any other questions? I see, Renee, you're going to have to do a little research about the CPAP and just be in touch with Salvador about that. He'll know more about the. Betsy wants to know about matchmaking. Somebody, if she wants a Greek husband, be careful what you wish for, Betsy. Just saying. Greece is looking pretty good though now. Anywhere. Yes. Fine. She's looking for a Greek husband. It's not in the small print. No guarantees. All right. I do want to go over a few things. Can you put all the rest of your questions in the chat while I go over a few things that I want you to be thinking about? I have sent you this list, but I made some. Can you see the travel preparation list? Yes. Okay. Give me a nod because I can't. You're all muted. Yes, you can see it. Okay.
Yes.
So travel insurance. Barbara Seguro sent me a note. The price of the travel insurance is related to the day you book your travel, meaning the sooner you buy, the cheaper it is. And I'm going to put this whole thing in the chat so that you can see it. Her recommendations. Here is this. I'm going to send all of this to you.
Yeah. Can you put it in the WhatsApp group? Oh, you're going to email it?
I'll email it. Yeah, I'll email this whole thing. Here's the site that I use. It acts like Kayak, Google Flights. It compares a lot of different travel insurance places at once. I suggest you also look at what you need. You need medical evacuation. There's a couple of really good articles about what to look for in travel insurance. And if I don't think I put that link here, but if you need wheelchairs, meals, get your medicine refills. This should all be on your short-term and long-term list. Check the CDC website. I don't know what shots you need for Greece. It's probably not a lot. I didn't need any, but just check. Call your credit card company. Make sure you have a PIN in case you need to take some money out. No foreign fees transaction. Get all that done. We've talked about transportation to and from the airport. So I want to talk about canes and poles and walking assists. So I was just in in Greece, there are cobblestones, there are steps. Not everything is smooth sidewalks. Like, we are so soft here in America, seriously. And so what I'm recommending is that if you were just even the least bit worried about this, go out and buy a fancy cane or some walking sticks. And when we were in Rhodes, Simple was having some trouble. I said, get a cane. No, I don't want to get a cane. I'm not going to get a cane. And I just bought the cane and gave it to him. He said, oh, I'm so glad I have the cane. Like, suddenly he just felt better. So just get over the ego stuff about, do I need a cane? Do I not? Assume you need it. And unless you just are so sure-footed that it's not an issue whatsoever, and we will get something fancy. We will be or lightweight travel, and we will be the most interesting looking group that is walking the streets of Greece. Mimi.
One of the things I want to say, I use a cane and I also use walking sticks. You cannot it's illegal to take hiking poles on a plane. They are considered possible weapons. So you have to stick them in your suitcase. You can take a cane on the plane. You cannot take hiking sticks. And it's a good thing I had both.
Okay, good.
I have traveled twice with my hiking stick in my backpack, sticking out of the backpack, and I had no trouble. But that was national.
Right.
Are you speaking only of international, Mimi?
Just play it safe, Celeste. Just play it safe.
My stuff doesn't collapse into my suitcase.
And it was international when I've used them.
So
they wouldn't let me use them on a plane at all.
Did Miriam say that you can't take a cane on the plane either?
No, you can take a cane.
And take a cane, you can't take hiking sticks.
And if you don't want to deal with this, when you get there, there's canes all over the place. So you can just buy one there. And they weren't expensive. Susan asked, if we were arriving late on Sunday, do we book that hotel? Salvador will do that. You just have to let him know your dates. Okay, so let me go back to my list because I want to just make sure I run through everything here because I do have some other things. Okay, we talked about checking the phone carriers, ATT, SIM cards. Register your trip with the State Department. You just have to go on there, you create a portal, and you tell them your dates you're going. Bring a couple of COVID rapid tests, doesn't hurt. If you don't have Apple AirTags with all your luggage, now is the time to do that. So you go on Amazon, they're going to be on sale for Black Friday. Buy one for every piece of luggage, personal item, travel on, and main thing, and buy an extra one. They come as a 4-pack. Buy them, put them in everything that you own, and if you don't have an Apple, I don't know what else is comparable to this, but they are invaluable, and I strongly recommend it. And you can keep track of everything on your phone, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, find a teenager, or I will help you through this, and because they're not that hard.
Would you please put those last few things? I mean, I don't do Apple products, but I can find a Samsung compatible. But register your trip, that sort of thing.
I'm going to send
you the WhatsApp also.
Okay. I'm going to send this whole list just for the record.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send this whole list. Bring a list of your medications, adapters, and chargers. Salvador, you're on European chargers, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, so you need one of those. You need a couple. I recommend just getting a couple of them so that all your appliances will plug in at the right time, for the right thing. Okay, Linda, I'll get to you in a second. Okay, we will collect tips at the beginning of the trip for all drivers and bring cash or change at the airport. Salvador, do you want to talk about that?
Yes, we can do that. It's up to you. Again, as I told you before, tips are not something essential. If you want to give tips to everybody, we can collect an amount. I can have it very open with you. This amount we give to the driver, this amount we give to this guy, this amount we give to the other guy. If you want that, yeah, we can do it. Mm-hmm. It's
The
up to
only
you.
thing I want to make sure is that nobody has to carry their luggage. So we want tips for the driver and anybody who's going to be schlepping luggage for us for sure. And okay, okay. Let's see. Let me go back to my list. So we will collect that at the beginning. Bring your visas to the airport. That was for India. I left my visa before I got on the plane. But take pictures of everything. You take pictures of your passport, take pictures of your credit card, take pictures of everything so you have a record. Song sheets for the long bus rides. You know who you are if you have those. If you have an extra pair of glasses or the prescriptions, bring those. Now, these are just my personal recommendations. A good day pack. I have one from Travel On Bags that folds up into the suitcase, and I take it, and that bag has been invaluable. And Bagalini is another company that I have a bag from that I love. And the Foldy bag, I think I learned this, I'm not sure, I learned it from the India trip, is also, these are my go-to travel bags now. I find they really work. The best shoes, I'm giving you the website for Apex shoes. Pack the clothes to give away or leave behind. Buy euros in advance. Credit card points, if anybody needs help with that to get their ticket, they should talk to me ASAP. Purim. We're going to make our own Purim. And for anybody who, whatever that means to you, we're going to have our own, we're going to have a Purim party with the locals there, but we will have our own Purim. Probably the whole trip will be a Purim, but we will have our own Purim. And so if you have things that you want to bring to help make that happen, it could be anything from a Megillah to a costume or songs or whatever, we will make a Purim. This last thing is a Netflix show, Chaos, that I just watched. It's only one season. It's a dark comedy, but it is based in Crete, in Heraclion, and it is starring Jeff Goldblum, and but it's based on the Greek myths, the Greek gods and the Greek myths, and I just found it very helpful because they gave a contemporary interpretation of it. So now I know who Orpheus was and Caeneus, and I knew who the Minotaur was, but it just helped me put introduce me to the myths that we might be hearing about. And I will email that list. Okay, Linda Landis, you have been waiting patiently.
Well, before we get to the money, I did have a general question that I can't even figure out. So, Salvador, I eat Greek food in Florida all the time, but it's only ever been dinner. Can you offer a little description as to what the breakfast is like? I'm assuming it's not 100% American. I would love to know what Greek food is in the hotel. I'd rather eat Greek food.
Okay. The hotels, first of all the breakfast that you will eat will be at the hotel. The hotels are only 4 and 5 star, so it will not be the average Greek breakfast. It will be very rich buffet. Always. Very rich buffet. The buffets will have things that are, universal or American, scrambled eggs, or English breakfast, I don't know, scrambled eggs, sausages, bacon. But it will have the Greek things, which will be olives with tomatoes and, vegetables. It will be yogurt, certainly, with Greek honey, with nuts, marmalades, cereal, everything. The breakfast especially will not be Greek, will have Greek elements, will not be only Greek, because they are big buffets.
Okay, thank you.
Miriam.
I wanted to ask about laundry facilities.
This is possible in all hotels. If you want out of the hotel, also is possible. Cities that I know, like Athens and Chania and Thessaloniki, for example, Yes, we can go also out and give the clothes, but always possible in the hotel also.
Thank you.
Yes, Susan. So Mindy wants to ask about gluten-free and vegetarian. We know you're on this trip. And
Vegan.
vegan and gluten-free. We know you're on this trip. Do you have any advice for her, or tell her that, reassure her there will be enough food?
Me?
Vegan.
The answer is yes, everything. Vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, nut-free. It is like this now, the situation. In all the groups, everyone has different dietary preferences. The restaurants that work with groups, they know that very well. So we will accommodate everything. You just have to tell me. First, you have to tell me. And second, it will have to be for the whole trip or change once. It cannot be for every meal. Like this meal, I will be vegan. The next meal, I will be vegetarian. You understand? It will be for the trip, your choice.
Salvador, so this is Mindy, and I am gluten-free and vegan, and it's not like when I feel like I want to be, it's always. So I won't change.
Very good, very good. Yes, yes. We will accommodate anything.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank
It's
you.
just very confusing if one restaurant, the list is like this, the other restaurant, the list becomes different. You understand?
I think it will be better to send a mail to Salvo so he'll know who's vegan, who's vegetarian, who's gluten-free, etc.
Yeah,
Theoretically, you have told me already. That's what I'm looking now to see if I have this vegan from Mindy. But theoretically, you have told me already.
If it's on your registration form, you told us. So Celeste wants to know about the weather. And Susan, let me just say, if you give Salvador your dates, he will tell you, what you owe and how to pay it.
Yeah, I just mean the conversation. Will it be available? Because I want to hear those details.
I'll keep the record on.
Thank you.
Sorry, one little thing for Mindy. Mindy, I have vegan. I don't have gluten-free. Should I add this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, everyone, if you haven't told me exactly, or I don't know, you want something different, tell me. Whatever you tell me will be kept, okay?
Okay. The weather in February and March. Salvador, it will be chilly, I believe, right? I'm going to ask you now.
Yes, sorry, I was doing a change in the... Okay. Yes, it may be chilly. Actually, we don't know very easily. Expect, not winter, expect spring,
Great. Okay. So, any other questions? I will email you. Some people are having trouble getting on WhatsApp. And when I see you put that in there, you must be on WhatsApp in order to get in this group. So you have to download the app to WhatsApp and get into WhatsApp, and then I can find you to put you on to the group. That's the first step to getting into the group. Is anybody else having trouble getting into the group? Meryl, you're not on? Okay, you should be. And Judy Hollander? Okay, I'll write this down.
I hadn't heard about it till today.
It's been in your emails. You're not reading the fine print. Judy, Meryl.
Yeah, and I'm on WhatsApp because I email with you, but I couldn't figure it out.
You couldn't figure it out. All right. And who else is having trouble? Shoshi,
I
you're
am.
not either? Okay.
It helps to add the name of the group, which is Greece 2025.
Yes.
I'll look for it.
Okay. Lisa, you're not on it either?
No, I'm on the group. Akiva has a question though.
I have a question. It's a little different than these other questions. My question is that my favorite singer is George Delaris. Any chance that you know him, Salvatore?
No. Who, George, what?
George Delaris, Rebitko.
Dalaras, of course I know Dalaras. He's the biggest star of Greece. Yes, I know him very well.
I will hook you up by email so you can.
Dalaras, he's famous in Israel also. We will say that during the trip.
Very famous. He visits there all the time.
All the time, yes, yes. They have a square with his name. He has donated money, etc.
He's wonderful.
So
Yes,
can I
yes.
ask, are we going to be there before most of the tourists? So are we going to be there before the tourist season?
Yes,
Good.
yes. We're going in a good time.
Yeah, good.
The very touristic places, we will see some shops closed, like Santorini,
Right.
for example.
Okay. That's fine.
But that's much, much better, believe me, than the
Yeah.
high season.
Yeah, yeah.
It was very packed and hot. And so we won't have that, right?
No.
And they'll be very glad to see us.
Mhm.
The only drawback of going at this time of year is there's not the boat trips. Any boat trips we would have taken might be too cold. You know, the boats aren't running yet. But other than that, it's a better time to travel. Mimi.
I looked up the weather, and I'm sorry, I didn't hear any temperatures. But for Fahrenheit, at least in Athens, it goes between the 40s and the 50s. That's what it's.
Yeah, dress warm, dress layers. That one of the things I bought in Greece was the scarves are amazing. So you know, you'll be at whatever you don't have, you'll be able to pick up there. It was really okay. Anything else before any other questions beside the financial stuff that we need to address?
I'm still having problems getting on WhatsApp. I've loaded it. I've looked for Greece 2025. I can't get in.
Okay, Gail, what's your last name, Gail?
Friedman, Friedman.
Okay. I might have to figure out how to send everybody individual things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that. I'll do that after the meeting. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else? I'll get everybody on there. As long as you're on WhatsApp, I'll find you. Can you find me on WhatsApp?
No.
You can't find me on WhatsApp.
Is it under Shahina or?
Oh, what am I under WhatsApp?
Razel Raphael.
Razel Raphael. Try that. Find me.
Try it.
And then that'll be find me, Razel Raphael. And then that I'll find you that way. That'll
Okay.
be easier than finding a Gail Friedman. There might be a few of you.
You never know.
Anybody other? Kes Jones. Okay. All right. So if all those questions and pre-trip has been sort of, and let me just, if you buy that airplane ticket, do get your travel insurance, because on one of my last trips, they didn't, and then they ended up not coming, and it was a drag. So avoid that if you can.
Actually, can I ask us a quick question about the travel insurance? If you get travel insurance, should you also get the travel insurance from the airlines, or you don't need both? Like, is the air flight covered?
You should just read the fine print
yeah.
on that link that I sent you. You can put all the things that you want to cover, and then they'll pull up those plans for you that have that. Okay. Anything else? All right. So now let's talk finances here. Those of you who still have questions about finances. Evelyn's got her hand up.
I just thought of a question or how to word it, I think.
Okay.
If I have trouble keeping up with the group because of breathing problems or something or other, is it possible to hop into a cab that'll take me to the next place?
Yes, always. I mean, we will not leave you there. You understand? There is me, there is the rabbi, and there will also be other people that, I can take a taxi with you, take you somewhere. You can stay at a cafe, wait for us. You or anybody. This happens often. Somebody is tired. Somebody wants to stay here. I was traveling with my father. That was the biggest problem. He didn't walk anywhere.
Okay. So I can get something will catch me up with the group.
Yes, of course.
In case I need it. Maybe I won't.
Of course.
You're going to get in shape here before.
Yeah, that's right. I'm working on it. Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Um,
Honey.
yeah. I haven't figured out how to let anybody else post there yet, just for the record, but I'm working on it. If anybody knows where that setting is, let me know. Okay, questions about finances? Yeah, Susie.
I forgot my name was Susie. Okay, I have a couple of questions. The first one is about paying you the 500 euros. Is that, and I don't know how I pay you in euros. I can't write a check for euros. I can't, and I don't even know how to charge. Okay, that's my second question.
Let's back down. Let's do the simple things first, okay? Those of you who have been in touch with Salvador, he has sent you a balance of what you owe based on the trip numbers and the dates and everything. How many have not received that? Renee and me and Susie. Okay.
Yeah, but I have to say we haven't really been well in touch. So I
I
think
can only-
that's what I need to do. I need to get in touch, and that will hopefully clarify a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I
I
think
can
some of
only
us-
send this when you have sent me the dates. That's why I'm waiting for the dates, and whoever has sent me, I have replied with the bill. Right?
Right. So if you send him the dates of when, he can calculate, you know, how much based on the dates and, you know, the half of the pre-tour, a little bit. You know, we made this very custom, so everybody has a different amount. So he's emailing everybody separately. So that's the first thing. You give him the dates. You've paid your, at some point you paid your deposit. The third is to make a second payment here, okay, that you can do on a bank draft, correct, Salvador? Why don't you walk through the steps just so everybody knows?
Yes, after the deposit that you have given already, when you see how much is your bill, then you give the next deposit. This can be until 2,000, either 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, whatever you prefer, because the bills are normally high. We were planning on 3,000, now we are in 5,000, more or less. Better 2,000 to give. You can give this by credit card or by bank account deposit. And this will be the second. Now, the third piece of payment is supposed to be in cash. But now it has started to become big amounts, and you cannot bring 2,000 in cash in your pocket. So we're thinking how to do this. Okay, the third amount, we will do it afterwards. Maybe transfer something through PayPal, something, and leave around 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 to bring in cash. Okay, and the rest do something else with them. I also don't know exactly how to do this because we're trying to keep the cost down because there is a 24% tax that you will pay and I will pay, while I will have to pay in cash many people, like the guides, for example, will be paid in cash. Okay, so that we understand what is happening here. Not a lot, some of the expenses from my side that I will pay people, and I will pay them in cash. And if I have been paid from you by credit card, for example, and I pay them in cash, this is my income. Then it looks like my income. I will pay a tax that I will charge to you. That's why we try to avoid. And all the things that I will pay in cash is very good and right, actually, to be paid from you in cash also. That's why we have an amount in cash. Okay.
So I've already paid the first payment and sent you 2,000 euros. You know that. And by the way, I wish I could have done credit card or PayPal. PayPal's the best. Because it costs to send a wire. It was like $75 or something.
Oh, that much?
Yeah, not the end of the world, but still it adds up.
Okay.
So I imagine since we're all doing different parts of the trip, there'll be a different amount that you want from each of us in cash, if we want to do it that way, when we arrive. Is that correct?
Yes, more or less, it's correct. Yes.
Okay. So you'll let us know what that is closer to the trip?
Yes, or now if you want. I mean, with each one of you, send me a question and I will answer.
Okay, thank you.
Whenever, of course. That's why we have personal correspondence now with everybody, because everybody has different amounts, and whoever wants sends me whatever.
So what were the dates that for the second and third payment?
End of November is the payment of now.
The second, that's the second deposit, is it?
The second deposit, yes, there can be no third. There can be no third if you want. In the beginning, we thought of more deposits of smaller amounts, but I don't think there's a reason. You can do that if you want. You can give a small amount now, like 1,000, and leave another deposit for later.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Salvador,
Yes.
I've paid you twice, the deposit and the 1,000 euros so far.
Mm-hmm.
PayPal was the vehicle to send, but I didn't use a credit card. I came straight from my checking account. So you got cash from me. Can I pay my balance that way and not carry any money? It's coming to you as cash.
Why it's coming as cash? It's PayPal.
No, it's not, because it's not through a credit card. It came from my bank account. So on you're getting, PayPal is sending cash to you and charging me $5 to send it.
Yes, but it's still traceable. It's still a way to pay, you know. However, yes, you can pay an amount by credit card if you want. Yes.
But you still prefer the last bit to hand you cash. Okay.
Now I don't remember exactly your amounts. I can see that if you want.
I don't either. It's okay. We're doing the
That's fine.
pre-trip and the main trip, and that's all. So I've paid
Now we're speaking a little bit
1,500
more
so far.
generally. We're speaking a little more generally because I don't see for every one of you exactly the amount. But send me an email.
No. But I can make one more. I can do one more PayPal, and then bring cash. So I'll split it.
We'll see. We'll see. You want to bring the least cash possible. Let me see an answer to you. Send me
Some of the cash
reminder.
has to be for me to spend, of course.
Of course.
Okay. Thank you.
When we're talking about cash, we're talking about euros, not American dollars, right?
Right, or American dollars that we will change here, and still the payment will be in euros, yes.
But then we'll have to pay to change them into euros.
Yes, correct, yes.
That is
Or change them in America.
Buy your euros here. Buy your euros here.
I get my euros from AAA.
Rachel, I don't understand why you're really encouraging buying euros here, because it costs more than it does getting it in Europe.
It depends on where you buy them.
Yeah.
If you get them from AAA, I understand there's no fee.
There's no, I have never paid.
It's not about the fee. It's about the exchange rate.
Exchange rate, yeah.
And the exchange rate is always better in the country you're going to than it is in America.
Look,
I can tell you the big company here, which is called One, like the number One Exchange. It's a big company. There are offices everywhere, and you can see the rate now from where you are. You can see the rate that we sell euro here in Greece.
Right. So there isn't really any good reason not to come to Greece and to use an ATM card to get you your cash, right?
Well,
I feel like I'm missing something.
Right. I have sent this information to some people. Yes, from your credit card you can withdraw, or from an ATM you can withdraw euro, of course.
Mindy, I'm thinking like a traveler. I'm not worried so much about the extra dollar or so on the euro.
It's not just the dollar when you're talking about thousands of dollars. It's not just the dollar. And Razel, I've also traveled a lot. So,
but not
I'm just saying, like, I've heard you, but in my best experience of traveling, I have been screwed over when I've gotten money from another country in this country, from AAA or from wherever, my own bank. So I was just trying to understand, why there was the push to get it here when They
Okay.
do have euros in
I
Greece.
have not been screwed over, so I don't have that experience. And if there's 30 people on this trip and everybody needs to go to the ATM, there's going to be chaos. You can get it at the airport. You don't get as good a rate there, but it's one thing if you especially if you don't want to carry a lot of cash, then don't want to. You're going to be running. I don't want to spend my time in Greece looking for an ATM or standing in line or dealing with that. And there are surcharges on all those ATMs. So just know that I can take out $100 and there's a $7 surcharge if I take out from there. So I think it balances out for me the convenience of traveling and just get it in advance and you have it. It's at least for the first few days. If you want to, just to get you there, get the taxi, you just don't want to be dealing with it. Okay.
But do most places take Visa?
Yeah.
You said the taxi takes Visa. Don't most stores take Visa, contactless?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So did I hear that there was a limit to how much euros you can carry into Greece? Like,
No.
can I take 3,000 or 4,000 euros with me in my, in my little pack or something?
Nobody's going to be checking you, Evelyn. You're okay.
Is that right? Yeah, but I thought I heard there was a $2,000 limit from Salvos.
I don't know. No, from me, certainly not, because they have asked me this question before and I don't know the answer. I don't know the official limit, but me, naive, if you wish, I have traveled with much more than 2,000. Very often, many times I have been in airports with a lot of money in my pocket. I don't even take it out because the machine doesn't beep. I don't take it out to put it in the machine. I keep it in my pocket and I pass and nobody has ever checked me. I don't know the limit if there is one. There should be, I suppose, but I don't know it.
Let me just say, Shoshi asked a question about credit cards. They all take Visa and MasterCard.
Yeah.
Not everybody takes Amex, but some
Yeah.
places do. And if you want to bargain anything, nobody's going to bargain with you on a credit card. They'll take cash. They'll lower the price. I'm just saying. Somebody asked a question. Over what amount will there be a 24% tax, Salvador?
For payment more than 2,000 by a credit card or by a bank deposit, for this amount, there will be an extra 24%. So if you want very much to pay with your credit card, okay, yes, you can do. You can pay the whole amount with your credit card, but for the amount above 2,000, there will be the 24% tax, which is basically the real price, which is, you understand what I mean? It's the real price of the trip. We lowered it for obvious reasons, so that the price is lower. And yes, and if I may say, it was, I didn't calculate very correctly, because in the beginning we were doing for 3,000, and then suddenly the pre-trip, the post-trip, and the days in between for Purim, three blocks of vacation were added, and the bills became a little high. That is the thing, you understand? But still, there is a possibility if you want to pay with your credit card, but with this additional €24, we cannot avoid it. It's not my thing. You understand what I mean?
Okay, Susie's got her hand up.
So I read one place in one email that we were paying you if we were staying in Crete for the Purim holiday. Is that still going on, or is that not?
Purim holiday is still going on. We're planning it as we speak.
And what about the payment? That's what I'm asking.
So you work out your main payment with Salvador, and if you get to that payment that's over the 2,000, then you'll pay me on a Venmo or a check or however you want to do it, and I will use that money in Crete to handle those extra days. That's how we're doing it. So
may I explain this? Look what happens. Your rabbi has to make some payments. Okay, I would have to send her some money, and this is much more complicated than if you cannot send to me money and it's difficult from America to Greece, etc. Why not send it directly to your rabbi? I have to send her some money anyway to use for the Purim in Crete that she pays directly. So this was the thing that I have told some of you, that instead of sending me money and paying expenses, you can send directly to the rabbi, but not very big amounts, because it's not so much money that she will need to pay. You understand? Some small amounts we can do. That's why she says, first with me, we finish whatever we can do, and then you can probably send 400, some of you, to her directly. It's more easy for you.
In dollars?
In dollars, do it in dollars, doesn't matter. We will make
So I can do it in a check.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Easy. Any other questions? Mimi?
Rachel, I realize we're sending euros to Salvador. You said something about 500 euros to you.
Yeah, but we'll just take the exchange rate.
You need it in euros. That's my question.
I don't need it in euros. I'll do it in dollars. So you just take the exchange rate that day, you figure it out, and you send me the dollars.
Then we can send you dollars.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? And I don't need it right this second. So that was the other way that we would give people time to space this out. He needs it up front to pay for those expenses. You can get it to me now or in January. It's fine. Any other questions? Ooh, no more questions.
They're questions, we're just formulating them.
Okay, formulate. All right, well, I just want to give us all a bracha that we, go forth in joy, that we're going to bring out the inner goddesses here. If there is a goddess that any of you want to study up on, so that when we get there and you know everything there is about Artemis or Athena or Zeus, gods or goddesses, and you bring that to the group, it will be amazing. And so I'm going to work on that as the next step, just sort of program enrichment here, and hopefully bring out some of your talents for research and meditation and interpretation and whoever is here and whatever you've got. Okay, any other questions? So we're just
could you either in the chat or in the next email remind us the names of the hotels we're going to stay at in Athens, Thessaloniki, and Chania?
Those three you want, I can tell you now, or you wanted them written. If you want them written, write me an email and I will answer.
Oh, yeah, you can tell us.
In the chat, Salvador.
Okay, Royal Olympic in Athens.
I'm going to write them in the chat then.
Okay, Royal Hotel, Grand Hotel Palace in Salonika. Both of them 5-star, very good hotels. You will like all the hotels, I'm sure. What was the third? Chania, very central. Samaria Hotel. Yesterday I was there again. Samaria, like the gorge. Samaria Hotel.
Okay.
Where did you say is Samaria?
Excuse me?
Where was Samaria?
Samaria is a gorge on the White Mountains.
Are we going?
I wanted to go there, but he said he didn't think we can handle that.
No. If I tell you just the slightest thing about Samaria, you may not want to go very much anymore. It's an 8-hour hike on the gorge, no less. Do you still want to go?
We're not going there to Samaria, are we?
No.
Oh.
We're not going. Personally, I haven't done it. Why go and walk for 8 hours? No. It's beautiful. It's nature, but no, it's 8 hours.
You're going to walk around the hotel instead of the gorge. Less.
So at it's probably in.
I'm a meditator, and as well as fully Jewish. I'm also a Buddhist practitioner, and I'm just curious about whether anybody else is a meditator and involved in Buddhism? Show of hands. Just curious. Looks like no one.
Well, I don't think that's true,
Oh.
but so I want to, I'll invite you to help bring us to some of those quiet moments when we, maybe overwhelmed, flustered. Now that I know your talents, I'm going to make use of them.
I'd enjoy that. I'd enjoy that very much.
Oh, good. So I don't have a goddess I'm interested in, but one of the bodhisattvas, just say blessed beings, but I could say more, is Avalokiteshvara, and you may be more familiar with Kuan Yin. I didn't put her in my registration information, but that's who I'll be thinking of when other people are doing goddesses.
Okay. I'll find you the goddess of meditation. The Greek. We're all related on some mythic level. Okay.
I'm a stress reduction specialist. It says on my card.
Yeah, Evelyn, a nurse and a Reiki healer and
not Reiki, therapeutic touch.
Therapeutic touch. Sorry about that. Let me make sure I get your credentials right. Okay. Anybody else with questions, anxieties, anything we can do in advance, anything you'd like me to do in advance that you haven't heard yet?
Is there
No,
a good...
but I will tell you that, Razel, it doesn't look like you set up the WhatsApp group the same way that you set up India, because I was added to the group and then I really wasn't there. And when I went to join, it opened a subcategory. So you may have to delete it and start over.
Okay.
Because Salvador has to be on with us. We have to know where we are and what we're doing.
Right.
And if we can't access it, it's going to be impossible.
And
something was just not right about it.
Something was not right. All right. I will, I'll delete it and start all over. I know I can't figure out how.
Look at India if you still have us.
Yeah, I do.
Because you can check off the parameters that you chose.
Yeah,
and
also
do
the Morocco one.
Do
Yeah.
it again. Yeah, because something's not right about the Greece one.
Huh.
Because
Okay.
we do all have to end up there eventually. So I think it's important.
Okay. All right. Anybody else know how to do this better than I do? Okay.
And the hotels, I think the list is, there's discrepancy between an earlier list that we had and that had 5 on it, and one of them for Hananya looks different. So is there an official, like which is it? I mean, I see
Yes,
5
wait.
on the earlier.
I was asked to say hotels for Athens, Thessaloniki, and Chania. I didn't say the other hotels. We have more hotels, of course, in the trip.
We had a bigger group, Renee. We had to have a bigger
Not a
hotel.
bigger group. No, Patricia, no, you asked me about three places where we stay in 3 places, and I told you about those 3 places.
Are there other places where we stay in Greece besides these 3 places?
Yes. Yes, we stay in Trikala and we stay in Yanina.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's why I think the hotels are different. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're on that.
Right, 2 more names. Or anyone can send me an email. Anyway, in Trikala, we stay in Aeton Melathron. How to write it? I cannot spell it very easily in English. Write to me and I will tell you. Aeton Melathron, it's called. It's a Greek word with English letters. And the Yanina is Grand Sarai. Grand Sarai. Yanina, 5-star again. Now, about the Samaria Hotel, I arranged it recently. We did have another one, the Kidon. It is upgrade. Leave it on me. When we come to Chania, you can see both hotels. It's upgrade. When I do anything I do, basically, it's for the better.
Are you going to email them to us? Are you going to email the names of the hotels?
If you tell me, I will. I have already published them. There's only the Santorini that I'm expecting answers. I'm not sure. I'm among 3 places.
Right.
And the Chania that I was not sure. and the Hania have changed it. The Santorini have not reserved it yet. Apart from that, I have published, I have sent you already. But if you don't have them, anyone, send me an email and I will answer.
Mhm.
Mimi.
How big is, I'm losing connection. How big is this trip? Like, how many people are on it? I understand, like, say the main trip, because we're all gonna be there.
The main trip's about 30.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow, that's big.
That is big.
Right. That's why, yeah, the main trip is about 30 people. That's why I want you to, I don't want 30 people wandering off to go to get an ATM all the time. Just let's get, we're on the road. You know, the more we can be prepared and be with it, the easier it'll be.
Oh, actually.
Yeah.
I did have one more question. I know like when we went to Israel with you, we brought pashminas, you know, in terms of modesty kind of issues. Is that going to be something we need to think about for Greece?
We need to cover our heads or shoulders or anything else, Salvador, to go into holy sites.
No. Sometimes yes, but I don't think I have any of that. For example, monasteries, Christian Orthodox monasteries, you need to cover. In synagogues, no, not even in one. I don't think we have monasteries in the trip at all.
I think we're going in. We're going to see one.
Yeah, we're going out, yes, in Meteora, but not inside. No, I don't think. Well, if there is such an issue, we will say it from the previous day, etc., and you will be dressed accordingly. But in the Jewish places, no.
And in terms of, you know, streetwear and stuff, if we're pretty casual like Americans, is that offensive to people or are they okay with it?
No, why offensive? Of course you'll be casual, like all other tourists.
Just trying to be culturally sensitive.
Yeah. Greece is very laid back.
What about saying we're Jewish? Is that an issue?
How will you say it? I mean, you will say it with a very big Magenta vid. How will you say it?
No, it's just in India. They said that we shouldn't. It's a Jewish trip, but we shouldn't. And it's not like I'm going to say it or anything, but I'm just curious as to what the anti-Semitism is basically in Greece at the moment.
Very low anti-Semitism, and this is not my opinion. This is based on, let's say, surveys that have happened. We will say that in detail when you come here. We have low anti-Semitism. However, we do have a very high Holocaust trauma. We don't say we're Jewish very much.
Right. Okay.
Right? Inside the community, we don't say it very much.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't mean that there is a reason for that. It's a trauma.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah, we're gonna the Greek Jews could have been saved, right? And they were some of the last ones to go, and so we'll get into all that, but that's not where I want to leave this meeting. I want to leave this meeting with a sense of joy and optimism, adventure, and I am so glad that you are all coming with me. You will make new friends along the way. Salvador, one of the things I want to do is when you have everybody's flight times and airports they're leaving from, we will try to let people know who we'll try to let them know who's going around the same time or who's arriving around the same time. You could take a cab together. We met from Morocco. The bunch of us met at JFK together and flew together, and so we'll do that as well, just so that people have some people to travel with if they want to.
Exactly. Please do send me details, and when I have all these details, I will group them. That's the reason why I'm asking flights, and not only times, but also flights.
Great. All right. So
I have to leave this minute. I'm really sorry. Becky's going to keep everything for me and
Becky,
save the
so
chat.
glad you're here.
Yes, and save the chat because I lead a bereavement group at 1:30 and
Go,
someone
Becky,
just
go.
called now and said I'm late. So it's on Zoom and it only goes on Zoom at a time. Thank you.
Go,
very much.
Emily.
Bye bye.
And Becky, we're glad you're coming. Don't you want to bring a friend? You've got your mother, but don't you have a friend who wants to bring their mother? And then you'd have a buddy here. No. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Susan and did Susan Raskin leave? I guess she did. So Meryl, you were in touch with Susan about roommates possibly? Okay.
Yeah, I have Susan's number from the last time, so I'll contact her.
And Susan
I think
Diamond?
we're pretty, yeah, Raskin. I have Susan Raskin's from Morocco.
Yes. So we have at least 3 Susans here. We got, so Susan, Susie Orley.
Orlin.
We got you as a Susie. That's good. That was helpful. And Susan Diamond, have you decided if you're coming? She may not be there anymore. So we might have that Susan. So
Oh, she's there.
okay. All right. Blessings, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. Have a great holiday season. I'll probably do another one of these meetings in January or February before we go. If you have any questions, you know, I'm on email a lot. I will delete this WhatsApp group and start all over. Okay. But make sure you're on WhatsApp. Is everybody on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm just taking a straw poll here. Salvador, you can go. This has nothing to do with you. This has where we're going next. I'm looking at itineraries to Croatia. I'm very close to Croatia. Anybody not been there? Okay, so it's possibility. Croatia's on the list. Brazil is on the list. Anybody not been to Brazil?
Okay, so sorry. Can I say goodbye to all of
Yes.
you?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
send me emails for all that you want. Okay, and we make next Zoom meeting when the rabbi decides. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Salvador. Yeah.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Savo.
Linda, where are you in Florida?
Fort Lauderdale.
Linda, could you call me or do you want me to call you?
Where are you?
Hallandale Beach.
No kidding.
Yeah.
And when Paula comes to visit, she's in Hollywood.
I'm gonna in the chat my